Wow. All right, so we really about to get into some things today. Like, I don't even think, honestly, I even told my parents. Like, I know for sure my dad doesn't know the full story. Like, he does not know. I don't even think he knows a little bit of the story. Like, being honest with you, I don't think he knows. My mom knows, but like, well, she knows it all because I tell my mom literally everything, but she didn't know right away. But the fact that I spent $20,000 on plastic surgery and got botched is crazy. And I feel like at this point, y'all deserve to know what happened. I spent $20,000 trying to fix what I hated about myself. Not only did it not work, I ended up botched. And honestly, I never felt worse in my life. But here's the thing, the experience taught me a lesson I wish I had learned years ago. So let me tell you what really happened. Okay, so the backstory. Let me take you back, all the way back to the pandemic. So boom, we in the pandemic. So everybody gained weight. Everybody was looking crazy during the panty. So, you know, you be in love, you be in your relationships, you got the pandemic, you start putting on the weight. I really wasn't working out, but I'm a eater. You can see I got the thick thighs, you know, look, I'm a thick boy, I'm a solid boy. So it is what it is. But during the pandemic, I think we were like living in a house and I was just eating, we were drinking. That was one of the most unhealthiest times I've ever been in my life. But we were getting money. You know, we had our little stimulus packages, we were getting our unemployment. You know, and I think that was the time when everybody was like getting their unemployment money. And so for me, I was like, well, this is my time to get ahead. So I saved my money and I got my veneers. Loved my veneers. Got my veneers done. Flew to Colombia. Got them done. Spent $12,000 on my veneers. Boom, bow, done. No problems with the veneers. I wouldn't trade it for anything. I love the veneers. So then I'm looking at my body though. And like, you know how when you've been taking those pictures and you try to suck in, you try to do this, like none of the angles is hitting. Like nothing was working. And I'm like, usually I could like, and get something. Or you feel me? I couldn't get nothing. Nothing was really hitting on me. And I'm like, why is nothing hitting? Like nothing was really hitting, you know? So I was kind of feeling real insecure. I ain't gonna lie. I was feeling real insecure. I was like, I think I had got to 205. That was crazy. Like 205, looking a mess in the pandemic, not feeling, and I think I was even trying to do the NutriBurst. That wasn't working. You know, it wasn't good. I was watching everybody blow up. You know what I'm saying? And then it didn't help that, you know, me and my man, we would get into it and he'd be talking shit. Oh, you fat. I'm like, oh my God, I really look a mess. So I was feeling really insecure about my body. I'm not gonna lie. I did not like my body. And I thought, well, if I have money, I could change it. I will be able to change the way I look because I need a new body. And then we had made the decision that we were going to move to LA. But before that, I had been looking at places in San Francisco. I had been looking at places everywhere. And I just didn't make the move. I mean, I went and bought cars and all that stuff before I made the move. But we had moved to, I think it was like Cardi B's party or something like that. And I went and bought a diesel jacket and it didn't really fit me right. You know what I'm saying? Like I didn't feel the way I wanted to feel in the diesel jacket. Mind you, I'm like, dang, like I don't even feel right in this jacket. So all my clothes was like big and stuff like, and I just didn't like the way I look. I did not like the way I looked. So boom, when I made the decision to move to LA, I was like, okay, I'm moving to LA at the end of 2021, literally December 31st, 2021, I moved to LA. And I'm like, all right, I have to do something about my body. I'm going to get it fixed. I'm in Hollywood now. I got my teeth done. I'm going to come out here. I'm going to have this amazing show. I'm going to be on this podcast. Everybody's going to want to work with me. I'm going to just do it all because I'm in LA and I got my teeth done. I'm going to get my body done and it's just going to be fantastic. So I called one of my boys and I was like, well, you know, I'm going to get a procedure. And he's like, oh, well, I got the perfect doctor. You need to go to, you know, Dr. Lee. I'm like, oh, okay, cool. Book a consultation with Dr. Lee. Usually I think charges $500, but I think he gave it to me free. So boom, I do the consultation with Dr. Lee. He walks in there, big Prada bag, some Beverly Hills. I don't even think the guy looked at me. Threw the bag down, open your shirt, boom, 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 boom. Just start marking me up. Oh, it's not going to look like that. It's not going to be this. It's not going to be that. Okay. And I'm thinking, this is like really fast. Boop, boop, we're gonna cut from here, and you want this? Okay, so it's gonna be like this. It's not gonna be this big bulky thing. It's just gonna fit like a chest plate here, because I wanted to get pec implants. So he just starts marking me up and telling me what it's not gonna be and what it's gonna be, and I'm just like, okay, I'm not thinking nothing of it. And then he brings in his like assistant Sophie. So Sophie comes in, she's cool. She comes in and she does the pricing, and pretty much for everything it was gonna be 20 grand. So I'm thinking, okay, cool. They need half up front. I'm like, all right, take 10 grand right here. Boom, put it on a card. Swipe to 10 grand. So boom. They're like, all right, let's get the ball rolling. You got to go get meds. You got to go do this. You got to go get blood work, blase, blase, blah. So I'm like, okay, cool. I have the thing, what I've learned first, I had Kaiser. Wow, nightmare. If you know anything about having Kaiser, that they're in their own network. So you can't have an outside surgeon come and try to put prescriptions and stuff in for you because you have Kaiser. They have to do it. So that was a nightmare getting the blood work and stuff. So then I had to go pay for outside blood work. I think it was like Compass. I had to go pay for outside blood work because Kaiser wouldn't do the blood work and give it to them. It was just a mess. But I wanted the surgery. So I was like, I'm gonna go get it. We scheduled the surgery for March. My dad wanted to come down and visit me, but I told my dad to come down in February because I didn't want him to know that I was getting plastic surgery. So he came down, we hung out, and I knew I was going under the knife in March. I think it was like March 11th. So March rolls around. This is March 2022. I'm excited, I go there and I'm ready to get the surgery. So I go in there, the doctor comes in, you ready? We're gonna cut from here, we're gonna cut from here. And I'm like, okay. And he's like, we might have to go in through the nipple and we're just gonna shove it in there. I'm like, okay. He was like, did you shave? I was like, well, no, he didn't tell me to shave. He's like, oh, pulled a razor from somewhere out of his ass. Here's a razor, just go in the bathroom and shave. So I'm just dry shaving. You'll be fine. I'm thinking, okay. Then come in the anesthesia. She comes in, boom, talking to me, talking about, this is the goodie bag. This is the, this is the shit that's gonna make you knock out. And I'm like, girl, I got sleep apnea. Am I gonna die? She's like, no, we're gonna be in there. I'm gonna be in there with you. I'm gonna be in there the whole time. So boom, the surgery's like 8 hours. So I go in there, I knock out, I wake up, I got pecs. But I'm not even wrapped up. I'm just sitting there, boobs out. I'm just sitting there, and he's gone. Took his Prada bag, he's out. Don't see him, don't say nothing. He's out of there. And my man, called my man. He's like, all right, we come to pick you up. Comes, picks me up. I got my meds and I'm chilling. I'm over there looking at my boobs. I'm like, okay, I'm in LA now. I'm popping. But then I hear squish, squish, squish. I'm like, what is it? It's just all this liquid. I'm like, is it supposed to sound like that? So I messaged them the next day. Is it supposed to be this squishy? Yeah, that's just, it's fine. It takes some time to really absorb the pocket. All right, I'm like, okay, but it's still squishing a lot. Is the fluid gonna get into my heart? Like, no, you're good. It's behind the muscle. It's good. You're good. Couple days go by. Oh, and I woke up with a drain on the side because they went in here. And so they were draining me. Actually, I had 2 drains, one on this side and one on this side. So I got 2 drains that's supposed to get the fluid. So I'm like, okay. So I'm sitting there with drains on me and I got to keep, writing that down and, taking account for how long how much drainage it was and whatever. And I had to have that on for 6 weeks. It was hurting. I couldn't go out. It was a mess. But I was trying to get ready for my trip in May because I was going to Puerto Vallarta. And then I was going to my birthday in June. So I'm ready to try to get going. And so here we are. Actually, I was going to Puerto Vallarta in August. My birthday was in June, but I was just trying to be nice and right for the summer. So boom, what ends up happening after that, I roll over one day and all I feel is my chest getting bigger and bigger and bigger. And I go into the mirror, I'm like, why is my chest getting so big? And why does it look lopsided? It almost got to the point where like the chest was growing like this and out. So it was like, and this one was kind of flat. So I was like this. I was literally like this. And I'm asking the doctor, I'm like, what is this? What is this? He's like, I don't know. So I go in there and he's like, I've never seen this before. Just keep pressing on it, pressing on it, pressing on it, pressing on it. I'm like, okay. But one of the first orders was don't press on it. He actually was telling me, lay on your side. Don't lay on your stomach. Don't press on it. Then it started that was after I first got it done. After the issue started happening, press on it, press on it. So I would go home and just press on it and press on it and press on it. Nothing happened. All I would get was so much pain. it would just hurt and hurt. And so it was at a point where I would have to take Narcos and ibuprofens and Percocets just to sleep, just to get out the pain. And I'm texting him every day like, okay, now I'm gaining knots and clots on the side of my underarm. Okay. There's like a lump right here in this pocket, and this thing is like way more swollen than this one. See, this one is kind of like, it's fine. I mean, it's a little sore, but it's not a lump. This one feels like it's protruding, and it's like a lump right here. Like even you could see it right here. Okay. So what are we gonna do here? You took my $20,000. You just need to wait the 6 weeks. I'm like, I need to wait? I know my body, something is not right. So I wait. March, April, May rolls around. I'm like, hey, this is still happening. Now, mind you, through this process, I can't even go nowhere because I've got tubes still hanging outside of me. Lying to my friends, they want me to go out. Can't really go out. Can't really go to the store because I'm hanging on with a freaking drain outside of me. Can't go to events. People trying to hug me and it hurts. I'm scared. Oh, is the drain gonna pull? Is it gonna blow? I'm over here like trying to go out and like tuck the drain on the clothes and stuff. It was disgusting. Then summer rolls around. I'm like, you know what? We need to just try to take this drain out. So we took the drain out and he was like, let's just try it again. Push. I'm like, okay, because it wasn't draining anymore. Bro, when I tell you, I had to walk around, I had to literally walk around with big shirts, baggy shirts, big jackets. Mind you, now it's my birthday. No one knows that I'm sitting here with a freaking botched chest. It looks like I got a tit, like a boob. This thing is like getting huge and it's like ridiculous. Like, look at that. This is like huge. So, and it hurts. So I just need a date. It's time. I'm over this whole experience. Pool party for me. Ain't no shirt off for me. I was so embarrassed. Then I think it was one time, me and my man, we just had a wild night. Then we had like a little homie come over, it was a little, little vibe. The boy grabs me. I think he spotted it. And he grabbed the chest and then grabbed the other one and was kind of like looking at me like, what the f is going on? And I was like, oh yeah, it's just, I'm having surgery. Yeah. And I was like so embarrassed. Imagine being in the middle of like a mood and then you get clocked for an imperfection, but it's like super awkward and noticeable. And he's like doing his check like, what the fuck is this? And I'm just like, oh my God. I could have just died a little bit because I'm like, this is really like embarrassing. Like I can't even take my shirt off. I can't even get into some things without this clocking me. So I was like, you know what? I'm gonna have to call them back. Y'all need to do something. So they're like, okay, well, you need to come in and do another surgery. This is in July. I'm like, all right, we're gonna do another surgery. So I had to pay for it, right? You have to pay for the anesthesia. And that was like another $4,000 or $5,000 on top of the 20 I spent. So he does the surgery. Oh, it's just so much scar tissue in there. It's just so much scar tissue in there. Okay, so you cut me back open and do it again. Put a new implant in. I had to pay for that, pay for the implant, put it back in. A week later, body's rejecting it. This time it's getting even bigger. I'm like, oh my God. Now I'm trying to get ready to go to PV for my man's birthday. I'm like, yo, and I'm like, it's gotten bigger. He's like, I don't know what to do. And I'm thinking, we're in the middle of the summer. This time he threw another drain in, 2 on one side. So now I'm sitting there with 2 drains in my arm, one boob bigger than the other. I can't do anything. I can't even lift my hands. Now, mind you, at this time, we're also moving apartments. Not to mention, during this same time, my car gets stolen. I mean, it's a whole lot going on in 2022. Meanwhile, I'm also still doing YouTube with drains on, lopsided chest, so I'm wearing clothes. I'm hoping that nobody can see on YouTube that I'm freaking looking like an alien by the body, right? But it's hot as hell. But I'm wearing jackets and hoodies, but it was getting so bad and so big to the point where I was having to buy extra large shirts because the muscle was getting so big you could see it through the t-shirts. And then it was so bad if I wear like a fitted jacket like this or like a hoodie like this, you would be able to see that it was lopsided. So every day, like when we would go out, it was just so disgusting. I would have to check, well, can you see that it looks like I got one, like one is bigger than the other? And yeah, you could. I was so self-conscious. I hated the way I looked. I hated it. I literally hated it. You could tell in my shirt that one chest was bigger than the other and it was lopsided. It was even a point that I went to the barbershop and the barber was like, "You've been working out," and just hit me in the chest. I'm like, oh my God. I was just like, yeah, but it was like always weird because it was like, it was one chest. It wasn't like both of them. You know what I'm saying? It was like, yeah, I got one big titty. Like, you know what I'm saying? It was just crazy. And I'm like, I would always be trying to run home. But then too, I'm like, I also got this drain on me. And then usually when I get haircuts, it make me feel better. But that wasn't making me feel better. Because then too, I would just be doing this all day because I'd be so sore and hurting and hurting. So then I had to go on vacation because we already bought the tickets. So we're in PV and I'm like trying to camouflage it. I'm sitting under the water. Like, I'm in the shell, man. I'm under the water, not really wanting to get up. I'm leaning and laughing this way. I'm staying, like, you know how you be in the water, you don't all the way come up. I don't really come all the way up. I'm kind of like, we met some guys there. We talking to them, we chilling. I'm like, ha, 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 ha. I got the stuff all over me like this. You know, like, I'm like, I got the towels and stuff covering me. Like, it was bad. Come back, still in pain. Now I'm going off because I'm like, this needs to be fixed. I'm hurting. It's getting bigger. And I paid my money for this. What'd they say? Oh, then mind you, he's like, well, maybe it's the soma. See if your doctor, because we can't do it here, can put a needle and drain it. He's like, because I can't drain it. They can push it through the implant. The implant won't pop. But you know, it's scary because if you actually put a needle through it and it pops, that goes into your bloodstream and you can die. So I'm like, so I go to Kaiser. So I try to get Kaiser to help me out. They like, no, we can't help you. You didn't get this done here. This is cosmetic. We are not a network for that. We're not helping you. We'll prescribe you some pills, but there's nothing we can do. Kaiser would not help me. They would not help me. And so I'm just dealing with it. So then I'm like, I'm trying to go meet. I done drove to Orange County. I'm meeting different surgeons. No one can help me. No one can help me. Then I think it gets down to December. We're almost in 2023. And I'm like, how? I need help. I've been doing this whole year. I went a whole year of surgeries. He's like, well, the only thing that we can do at this point is take the implant out. So I had to go so he says, the only thing we can do is take the implant out. I go into the office. He's rude, throwing stuff around. All right, it's just not working. I don't know. I've never dealt with this case before. It's probably because of your black men. Black men's, their body just rejects stuff like that. I've never had this problem ever before. So we take the implant out. Third surgery, 2022, 3 surgeries. I have to go under anesthesia. The implant is out. I wake up and now there's a dent in my chest where my chest is folded, like literally cut, folded. So it's still like lifting and it feels tight. So doctor told me if one starts to do that, I gotta come back. So obviously the problem one still doing it. This is like crazy. I thought we would be done with this by now, but so I think he has to drain it. So I need to make an appointment for this week. So much scar tissue, and there's so much scar tissue, and he sends me a picture. I think I'm gonna post it. Send out so much scar tissue. So I'm going to different surgeons. They're trying to charge me $50,000, $60,000 to fix it. Some of them won't even fix it. They saying that they can't. So I finally found a surgeon in, what was that? Towards the end of 2023. And we set the surgery for the top of 2024. Dr. Mishrafi, I love him. I found a surgeon at the end of 2023. He said, I can do it. I'll fix it, but it's gonna run you $24,000. That's on top of the damn near the 30 that I spent going through the botched. So I'm like, okay. He says, I'm looking at it and I don't think you realize what happened here. I said, well, what happened? He says, this is not just scar tissue. The guy cut your muscle out. So he took a chunk of your muscle, so you'll never really have the muscle. I'm like, this was why I was going off on him, because he was moving too fast, talking too fast, and didn't give a shit. So you was in there just and cut my muscle. So we had to do some fat grafting and all that stuff to try to get it somewhat back. To this day, my chest is still not 100%, but it's about 95, 96, 97. You can't tell unless you're really, really looking. I can tell just because I know, but you can't really, I know that they're not the same, but it's not as bad as it was. But that was because the guy cut out half of my muscle. He cut it out. And so thank God that this doctor was able to do some fat grafting and knew how to like mold it, but it was never going to be the same. I'd convinced myself that plastic surgery was going to be the answer. If I just fixed one thing, I'll finally feel confident and I'd feel good enough. And so I saved up the $20,000 and did that because I was so desperate to change how I felt and what I looked like. But the surgery did not go well for me at all. I actually spent almost 2 years botched, self-conscious, uncomfortable, hating my life and wishing that I never did that. I was looking in the mirror, regretting every decision that I had made, from altering my body to missing out on that money. I remember thinking, I just spent $20,000 and I feel even more insecure now. I was angry. I was devastated. I felt completely lost. All the time, effort, and money and I still hated myself. I still hated what I looked like. It took me a long time to come to terms with, what happened. At first, I blamed myself. I blamed the doctor. I blamed the procedure. But eventually, I realized that, something that actually really changed my mindset and changed everything, that the problem wasn't my body. It was how I felt about myself on the inside. No amount of surgery, no amount of money was ever going to fix the way I felt or saw myself. I thought plastic surgery would magically give me the confidence, but the truth is confidence didn't come from the outside. It comes from how you see yourself on the inside and how much you love yourself and who you are right now. You know what I mean? Getting botched was a painful reality and wake-up call for me to understand why I need to build my self-worth. I need to build my confidence within me. So here's what I want you to take away from this situation. If you're thinking about changing something about yourself because you don't feel good enough, stop and ask yourself, is it really about how you look or is it about how you feel? Trust me when I say no external fix will ever be able to solve an internal problem. You are enough as you are, and the sooner you start believing that, the sooner you'll find the confidence that you've been chasing. I spent $20,000 and learned that lesson the hard way. You don't have to do that. It was very, very difficult. It was very, very difficult. It was very, very difficult. It was a very difficult time. And I just realized that, you know what, Armand, you are enough just the way that you are. And don't get me wrong, I'm not against plastic surgery. I love surgery, but I went into it with the wrong intention, the wrong reason, and I attracted the wrong result. And to this day, I did an alteration to my body that I'm always going to have to remember, pay for, and deal with. And that was almost 3 years of my life. I spent a whole 2022 getting surgery and walking around with drains. That year, my first year in LA, I was botched for a whole year, and I had to find ways to camouflage it and still have fun. I hated myself. Then I literally had to take money. I spent almost $50,000 in total between getting this surgery and getting it repaired. People charge you more to do reconstruction. It was like, what a waste of money, But really, was it? Because I learned the valuable lesson. You are enough. And no matter what anybody says about you, no matter what anybody feels about you, let them have that thought. Let them feel that way. You cannot change your outer and think that it's going to change your inner. It's just not. You have to love who you are. Anything that you do to alter your body should be an enhancement. It should not be your new beginning. It just shouldn't be. It should enhance who you are, because no amount of money, no amount of surgery, I personally don't feel will make you happy. It can't make you happy. You have to be already happy on the inside, because if you go into it with the wrong intention, you're going to get the wrong results. So yeah, child, I spent $20,000 on plastic surgery and got botched and ended up spending $40,000 in total just to get it fixed, and it's still not fixed 100%. So yeah, let me know what y'all think in the comments below. I'm just gagging that I've even told this story, because I knew one day I wanted to tell the story. I just didn't know when it was going to come or how it was going to come, but the story is here. So yep, let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Till next time, keep that same energy. We'll see you soon. Peace out.